Good morning, everyone. So today we're going to talk about the A2P 10DLC registration process. If you are planning on texting your customers, you absolutely, this is an absolute must. It is some new legislation that recently passed to cut down on spam marketing via text. So I'm going to go ahead and start a presentation here, and then we can have a Q&A session afterwards. Let me just present. Okay, so like I said, we're going to talk about the A2P 10 DLC registration process. Just some FAQs. We're going to go over what is this exactly, why you need it, and what happens if you don't do it. So A2P 10 DLC stands for application to person, 10-digit long code. So it's the standard that the US telecom carriers have put in place to ensure text traffic through phone numbers is verified and consensual. This currently is a United States thing, but it does sound like a lot of these carriers that are worldwide are going to be implementing this. So what do you need to do? If you don't send any messages to your clients and you don't ever plan on sending texts, you're maybe only going to do things via email, you don't need to do anything. But if you are going to send messages, or if you decide in the future that you want to send messages, you're going to have to go through this process. So depending on your business registration status will kind of dictate which one of these you have to do. So if you have a tax ID and send under 6,000 text messages per day, just go ahead and register the way I'm going to show you here. If you don't have a tax ID, you should register as a sole proprietor using your Social Security number. So what happens if you don't register? Your text messages will be blocked. You will still be charged for sending messages. They will not be received. So you have to register. There's also the potential that your business gets blocked in the future if you do try to register, and then you will have to start over with a new phone number. So when you're signed into your account, you're going to go down to the bottom left-hand menu, the very bottom, hit settings. And then right here, hit phone numbers. That's going to bring up this screen. And if you haven't done that, there's going to be a red banner here that says, hey, you need to get this done. So what we want to do is click Start Registration right here. And that's going to bring up kind of what I just told you about having a tax ID or registering with your Social Security number. For this purpose, this person had an EIN. So here's the difference between low volume and high volume. If you're doing, less than 6,000 texts per day, which I don't think any of you currently are doing anything close to that, just go ahead and click this. There is a one-time registration fee of $20.95, and then you're going to be charged a campaign fee of $12 per month to stay in compliance with this. If in the future you start doing more texting, there will be a $65 fee and still the $12 per month. So here's the first page. You're just going to follow through your legal business name. You need to make sure that this matches exactly, like it says here, exactly as you registered it. So if like my business name is GoldLink Solutions, LLC, you really want to make sure you have that comma in there. If there's not a comma, you really need to make sure that this is correct. This needs to match what the government has on file for you. So your email address, your website, your business type, this is a drop-down menu, just pick what works best. Your business registration ID type, which is an EIN or Social Security, and then your registration number and your industry and your countries. Your address must be the valid address linked to your business, city, zip code, country. This is all fairly self-explanatory. Then it's going to want your information. Unless you're doing this for someone else, you want the authorized representative for that business, first name, last name, email, position, and phone number. Campaign details. For this purpose, I'm going to show you the low volume mixed, which is if you're doing under 6,000 text messages per day. So this wants to know use case descriptions. This wants to know the type of text messages you're going to be sending to your customers. So I will include a document that has text that you can copy and paste in here. Go ahead and feel free to add your own text if you'd rather do that. You do want it to be fairly close to the messages you do plan on sending out. So here's a sample message. It wants a sample message too. These are all required places that they need filled out. End user consent. This is how they consent to getting your text messages. Opt-in keywords, and then opt-out message. Sorry, let me go back. Opt-out message is just basically you can, press stop to stop receiving these messages, or unsubscribe, or however you want to do that. Again, I do have text that you can copy and paste into here. And once you get that done, you are fully submitted. It can take up to 7 days if you haven't registered before just to get brand approval, which is your company and that information. And then it can take up to an additional 4 to 5 weeks for campaign approval. This is something that was implemented, I think it started in July, and I think August 31st was the last day that text messages would be sent without being registered. So they are kind of dealing with an influx of registrations right now. So I have seen them take a few weeks. I have also seen them take like a week. So it's really just hard to tell how that's going to work. So here's an A2P registration to-do list. The first thing you want to do is fill out your business profile in your account. When you sign in, again, at the bottom of that left-hand menu, go to settings. The first window that pops up is your business profile, and that has a place to fill in your business name, your address, your phone number. This has a place for your EIN. If you have all of that stuff filled out and it's exactly like it is on your business registration paperwork through the government, it will autofill that information into this application, which just is a little step easier, just one little step out of there. The second thing you want to do is purchase a phone number if you're not using your personal cell. Some people want to use their cell phone because they're already texting their clients, and those people are familiar with that phone number. If you're doing that, that's fine. Just use that phone number. Otherwise, you're going to want to purchase a phone number. It will show you the option in here to do that, or let me know and I can do that, get that done for you as well. I think it's between $1.15 and $2 per month to purchase the phone number. And then there is a charge to send text messages. It is, I think it's 2 cents per 1,000 text messages. So it's very, very inexpensive. But the system does require you to have $10 on file to pull from. So anytime that gets below $10, it's going to charge you another $10 in there, and it'll just pull from that to send your stuff. That way you're not dealing with not having any money in your account, and then it won't send your messages. So the third thing, you want to make sure you have an EIN number. If not, then obviously you can use your Social Security number, but make sure you've got that, find that paperwork somewhere. So business registration paperwork, find all that information so you can see exactly how you registered your business name and then the address that you registered as well. I know some of you have moved or have a different address, so you want all this stuff to match. You also need to have a website or landing page that includes your terms and conditions. It needs to be searchable. Your terms and conditions also need to have language in there about opting in and opting out. And then the final thing you need to have is some sort of an opt-in page, whether that's like a pop-up or a form on your web page, something that shows these people when they go to verify who you are, they are going to check your website. They are going to check your terms and conditions. They are going to make sure that you are in compliance with the language that you ask people to subscribe with. So if any of you have made a form or a survey recently, you've probably noticed that when you ask for a phone number, it automatically brings up a checkbox that says that they consent to receiving messages from this business. That is in compliance. So you don't need to do anything else other than have that on your website somewhere that is searchable. Okay, so I am going to stop recording and then we can do some Q&A.